Hello, Nancy Forster here, founder, executive director of the National Emotional Freedom Techniques Training Institute. And I'm here to celebrate with Danielle Proulx, who has just done an absolutely amazing job offering her presentation in partial satisfaction of her advanced practitioner certification with the National Institute. Danielle, would you just tell us, well, two things. Tell us what your presentation was about, and then tell us how it's feeling to have done the presentation today.
Well, the presentation was all about my journey on building an online course, what I went through, uh, all that came up, what had to
Mhm.
be cleared while I was doing that, what was showing up, all my fears and all of that. And yeah, it was just amazing to be presenting to all my colleagues.
Mhm.
And it was just natural. It felt natural for me. That's the word
Mhm.
that comes up.
Mhm. Well, that certainly was the feedback that was happening in the chat box around how inspiring you were just with your passion and allowing yourself to be so vulnerable. You
Yeah.
know, very often times we do these presentations and we're presenting the final product
Hmm.
and giving the impression that it was all such an easy journey and everything just happened tickety boo. And so it was lovely to just hear you speak the truth about what it's really like to accomplish something that is be initially beyond your capacity
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
do. Yeah. So can I ask you just a couple of questions to give people who didn't get a chance to come to your presentation, but allow some of your wisdom to come
Yes.
through? So one of the things that you said was that the magic happened
Hmm.
once I got myself out of the way.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think it's the best way to describe it. So what I meant was I had to really be real with myself. I had to honor everything that was coming up. For me to move forward, I needed to clear the old. That's what
Mhm.
it meant. To make room from some new learnings, some for me to transform. It's not, the beginning was to have an online course, but all the in between, the process of getting there. At the end, it wasn't about the course. It was all about what I had to learn, what I was getting into. It's like a butterfly transforming. What I
Mhm.
had to go through to be
Mhm.
aware of, to be able to today be so natural talking in front of the camera. Example.
Mhm. Mhm. And the creation of the course just becomes the vehicle
Yeah.
for your personal and your professional growth.
Yes. And that you don't know when you get started. You have no idea.
Exactly, exactly. One of the other quotes that I know we share a real love for Joe Dispenza and the work that he's bringing to the world. And so you quoted him as saying, as a human being, emotions are one of the most powerful tools and resources of creation that we possess. And you were relating this to the actual content of your course, which is all about how energy psychology and conscious EFT, we can use that in relationship with our animals, our dogs in particular. So over the course of your learning to create this presentation, what did you learn about dogs and emotions and how they're similar or not similar to human beings?
Well, we could say that yes, we have similarities, and no, but I see more of the yes. We are living beings.
Hmm.
One, we are both having a nervous system.
Hmm.
We both have chakras, energy system. We both have meridian systems, and
Hmm.
we both live in the same house. If
Right.
you're a dog parent, right? So for me, there's no difference between a dog and a human, and when you look at it that way, because we co-regulate with one another.
Mhm,
We
mhm,
share the same space. We share
mhm.
the same experiences.
Yeah,
We
that's
live differently,
yeah.
right?
That's what really struck me as you were talking about your decision to bring Achilles, the wonder dog, into your life as a foster animal, and how when he arrived, he was so skittish that there was all this and tremendous amount of love available for him from you and your husband, but he just wasn't in a place he couldn't take any of that in.
No.
And how you needed to take all of that love and translate it into these very small pieces that his nervous system could actually accommodate.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
And
how
also
do you
being blind,
sorry, say
right?
again?
Also being blind is another thing,
Yes,
right?
yes, and how that would really
Mhm,
heighten his wariness, I would imagine. So
mhm.
how do you see that being similar to working with your clients, your human clients?
Well, I always say that Achilles is my teacher, working with animals or people. I've learned that you can't rush the process. You cannot push it down the throat. You can't, it's not about you, it's about what's best for the animal or the person.
Mhm,
So that's what he's teaching me every day, actually. I
mhm.
find myself sometimes saying, well, you should know this by now,
Right, right.
right?
Yeah.
But that day there's a little bit more wind and there's something that really triggers him that day. And
Mhm.
well, you know what? We're gonna have to be more patient today because
Oh, yeah,
and do some tapping.
that is such
Exactly.
a good point, right? Because with our human clients too, they may come in and have a certain average capacity and their window of tolerance as we talk about it. But on any given day, the wind might be blowing differently for them too. And
Yeah.
we as practitioners need to be able to carefully assess what that client slash nervous system is capable of that day and work within that.
Yeah.
Right?
And
Yeah.
I've seen myself actually having that same thought working with clients saying,
Mm.
oh, we've been through that before. And
Right.
stopping myself right there saying, whoa, get back into your seat here. And you know that there could be residue, there could be something going
Mhm.
coming up that wasn't quite cleared yet. And it's
Yes.
okay.
And it's okay. Yeah, exactly. One of the other comments that you made, well, I've got a lot of them I could talk to you about, but one of them was the importance of taking a break.
Mm,
That you talked about all the different parts of you and how you needed to learn to hold all the different parts, the inner child part and the artist part and the part of you that wants to get this done and the part of you that's scared to get it done. And one of the things you learned was how to recognize when you needed to step away.
yeah. Yeah. It was hard stepping away because there was a lot of you shouldn't, you won't meet the deadline. You don't give up. You usually don't give up.
Mhm,
What do you mean you're going to quit? So
mhm,
yeah, no, but I
mhm.
needed to really step away, but even more, I had to stop completely and deal with what I had to deal with
Yes, yes.
before even going any further.
Mhm. Well, it's this part of you knowing how to regulate your own nervous system, and that you were beyond your capacity right in that moment, and you needed to rest.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely needed to rest, and I needed to bring back compassion. I
mm,
was being so hard on myself
mhm,
and staying in that cycle of shame. You're not
mhm,
doing it.
mhm.
You're not accomplishing anything right now.
Right, and from that state of overwhelm, there
Yeah.
is no compassion.
No,
Right.
not at all.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
The other comment that you made was, if you don't celebrate every little step along the journey. And I was thinking myself, wow, that is so brilliant because if you don't stop and celebrate, not with big, huge purchases or big time consuming things, but just the smallest celebrations, if you don't celebrate every step of the journey, your chances of successfully completing the project go way down.
Oh yeah, because that kept me. every time I would celebrate, I gave an example. I would celebrate like I did a Zoom, and then I downloaded it in Vimeo, and then I downloaded it on the platform. Whoa! I was like, yes, I did it. I did it. Yes, it was simple, but the emotion that was
Yes.
flowing was just like I was embodying this. So the body wanted more. So every
Mhm.
time I would do these little steps, it was just showing me I could do this. I'm
Yes,
doing it.
exactly, exactly, and that's part of our conscious EFT process, isn't it? To acknowledge that surge of energy, the recovery of the energy, and then to use neuroplasticity, neurobiology to really create the brain and the body that can open up to new possibilities. Yeah.
Yes, and to success. Like if I looked at it from the beginning all the way to the end, that was way too scary. Way too scary. Of course, I wanted to do it.
Right,
I
exactly.
didn't take the time to really do these little steps and celebrate them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have seen, look, and you look back, oh, I did this already. I'm
That's
halfway there.
exactly, exactly. Those small steps taken over time and then carefully celebrated,
Mhm.
titrating over time is how we actually create a safe and sustainable change, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
All right, I have, well, two more questions. So you said this as you were showing your slides was the I was really taken by the slide that had the question, what did this experience teach me about myself and
Mhm.
how I show up in the world? What
Mhm.
an incredibly powerful question. How,
Yeah.
how would you what would you how would you summarize your answer to that? What did this experience
Mhm.
teach you about yourself and how you get to show up in the world?
Well, it showed me that it's safe. The
Mm,
world was safe. I had this imagination that I wasn't maybe good enough, or, I'd be rejected, or, it wasn't safe, right? My nervous
yeah.
system was telling me alert, alert, alert. And this whole experience, going through the whole process, really gave me the confidence to show up
Mhm.
and in this world, and feel like safe, and I can do this, and I can do more. I even did 4 courses instead of one, because I was
Yeah.
just in it, and I was
Yeah.
enjoying it in the process.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what becomes possible for a woman who feels safe in the world? Where do you see yourself going next with this?
Oh, I just realized going through this process that I love building programs. I love creating these things.
Mhm.
So who knows? There's all kinds of possibilities now.
Absolutely. It
So it
sounds
just
like
shows that, I'm resilient, and I can actually choose to do what I want.
right. And you can enjoy yourself
Yes, and have fun.
doing,
Yeah.
yeah, doing whatever it is you choose to do. The
Mhm.
last point you made in your presentation, and as you know, this is something that fuels my life, is that uh, uh, transformational coaches like you are really, really needed and necessary in the world right now. I just want to give you your final moment to make that point as passionately as you did in your presentation.
Yeah. I was finishing up the presentation, and I just felt like I need to share, like, it doesn't have to be something big.
Right.
Uh, you know, I'm talking about an 8-week course here. It could be just one event. You can
Yeah.
start small, do
Mhm.
something that you are good at. Just allow, if you really go deep down inside, and allow yourself to just imagine, and
Mm.
what do you like? What do you feel comfortable sharing with people, even
Mhm.
though you've never done it?
Mhm.
Um, Maybe just try.
Yeah.
Just try. Keep it small for now, bite
Right.
size, and
Yeah.
yes, it's important that we are out there, that we are ourselves. We are all different. We all have different things to share. Even though we all do EFT, we
Mm.
all do it in our own way.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's the beauty of it. We need to be unique. This is what people are looking for. It
Mhm.
has nothing to do if they don't choose you or choose somebody else. Good. They decided to choose that person. That's good.
Yeah.
Somebody else will be drawn to you. And
That's
that's
right.
one thing that I learned
Yeah.
also.
Beautifully said. So I know you have a private practice working with people who want to transform their relationship with their animals or their animals' behavior. I know you also work with human beings
Yeah.
individually.
Mhm.
What's the best way for people to get in touch with you, Danielle?
The best way would be right now, I don't have a website. I'm actually working on getting one,
Mhm.
revamping actually.
Mhm.
So the best way would be Facebook at Danielle Proulx and EFT, or for my animal lovers, they could probably go to Facebook at Danielle Proulx EFT, Energy Psychology for you and your dog. Yeah, sorry about that. I had a blank.
Yeah, totally.
Uh,
And so
yeah,
let's
those are the
just
best.
spell that. So Danielle is Danielle,
Yeah,
and then last name Proulx.
X. Yeah, yeah.
And
Thank
so on Facebook, just searching for you will get you connected, and then they
you.
can
Yeah.
go from there.
And there's also the email. They can contact me at danielle.energypsychology at gmail.com.
At gmail.com. That's great. Thanks so much for taking a
Thank
minute.
you.
All right. And I know you're going to go off and do your celebration of a successful presentation. That's
Yes, I
great.
will. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Danielle.
Have a great day.
Yeah.
Bye.
Take care.